Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4. We are on Cornflakes patch 1.54. The latest expansion at this time is Waking the Tiger, and I am very excited to be starting a brand new campaign of Hoi over here. It's been a little while since we played. We did dabble with Waking the Tiger with a Communist China run where we only played quote-unquote like correctly, like by following the national ideas, not really doing anything on our own to see how that went. It was, yeah, maybe a little questionable over there, but it was an interesting experiment. Here, we're going to try to be a little bit more free and loosey-goosey with our run. We are not going to be playing Nationalist China again, though. We are going to be playing somewhere over here. I turned to Twitter looking for ideas. Hey, what should we play to mix it up? I thought, oh, maybe we could do a Communist India run. And a few people on Twitter did suggest, hey, how about Fascist Australia? And I think, you know what? That's going to be a fantastic idea. That's entirely what we're going to do. We're going to do an independent, well, we might join some factions and things like that, but I mean independent as in we're going to break away from the United Kingdom over here, and Fascist Australia. I think that's going to be a blast. We are going to play on regular difficulty because Australia's going to have a hard enough time doing anything in the game, mostly as a result of exceptionally poor manpower, and that will be one of the two issues we're trying to resolve early on. The lack of trade goods is going to be another, and actually we have sort of very middling industrial production as well. Australia is going to play a lot like, say, a Canadian game, for example, but Australia does have a few more opportunities for targets over here, in particular the Dutch East Indies, which are rich on resources, and the other thing it might do is we could get involved maybe in the Japan-China war over here and see if we can grab a little bit of China or something to get a bunch of extra manpower. Puppets and things like that, puppets and I don't know about satellites, but puppets anyway are another way to effectively get manpower because you can build troops using their manpower from there. We do have historical AI focuses turned off, so we'll see what kind of fun results from there. And otherwise, we are ready to start. Now, our Prime Minister at the start of the game is John Curtin, which is kind of historically inaccurate. I think the thing with the game is that the Labour Party, I think for balance reasons, the Labour Party is in control of Australia here. I think that's just the name of their Democratic Party. And John Curtin was the leader of the Labour Party at this time in 1936. However, the Labour Party wasn't actually in control of Australia, so he wasn't actually the Prime Minister. He didn't become Prime Minister until 41. But I think it's a factor of that you can't have multiple, say, Democratic parties in the same thing. So anyway, John Curtin, there he is. That's going to be fine. So, looking at Australia, if we mouse over manpower, you can see here our total eligible population for sort of manpower purposes is 6.5 million. But of course, we're never going to be able to take advantage of all that. What are we going to be sitting at? 5%, 10% of that? Something like that? So our manpower numbers are going to be pretty rough throughout all this. We also have very, very, very little production. We have 4 military factories. We have 11 civilian factories, although I believe 7 of them have to be used for consumer goods early on, which is brutal. And yeah, we currently have another 26k manpower available, which isn't much. And for some bizarre reason, our division template over here as Australia starts with a 22 combat width, even though we don't actually have a leader who can give us that 10% combat with distance, as far as I can tell. That's one of these traits over here, right? And we don't have that. We have Armor Officer, which is great because we have so many tanks. And by so many tanks, I mean we have 0 tanks. We've got a Desert Fox, okay, and a Hill Fighter. That's fine too. They're a little bit lower rank, but I guess that's going to be okay. We actually might want to, I suspect, possibly use the Hill Fighter over here, because if we do take some action in the Indies, this is all hilly, and if we take some action in China, we've got a lot of hills and mountains over here. Does Hill Fighter give you mountain movement? No, just hills, but there's a lot of hills still in China over here. So I'm kind of tempted to use Alan Vasey, or Vasi. I'm going to go with Vasey for our general for this army and hope he gets a little bit of experience. But you can see there's not a whole heckin' lot going on here. Got the cavalry division over here, which is all actual cavalry, no light tanks or anything like that. I think what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm just going to go and standardize everything on just infantry templates, so it'll eat more of our manpower, and we are super short on infantry equipment, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. So that's that, and I don't know, we really don't need to do anything, but I'm just going to go ahead and set up coastal garrisons just for whatever. I'm going to ignore Tasmania. I think that's Tasmania over here. And we'll say, yeah, you don't have to guard the coastline. You don't have to guard airports. There we go. Basically, you're just doing victory points and naval bases, and that's going to be okay. All right, have fun. We don't even have a field marshal over here, and we don't have the political power right now to promote Yeah, we need 30 to promote. So we'll probably promote one of, I don't know, someone. I don't remember if they lose all their skill levels or just one skill level or whatever. Okay, with all that, let's go and take a look at our focus tree over here. So we've got our sort of infantry style, like ground troop focus tree over here, which, you know, sort of standard, a little army experience and discounts to doctrines, research bonuses, that sort of thing over here, as far as I can tell. Mostly straightforward. Our ability to produce things like artillery and tanks and things like that is going to be very, very, very stunted. I mean, we have, let's take a look at our trade over here. We have access to, I mean, some tungsten, some steel, technically a little chromium, and that's it. No oil, no rubber, no aluminum over here. Although, one of the things we'll be able to do, I was peeking around over here, there's a decision to exploit bauxite deposits in Tasmania. Once we do get to excavation 3, we can uncover 8 aluminum sources in Australia. And I'm going to say aluminum because that's the way it's spelled in the game as opposed to aluminium. So I should probably get used to just saying it that way, but I don't know. You can go either way over here. So yeah, that's a thing for later, but yes. So it means, really, I mean, with tungsten, I guess tungsten is needed for artillery. I guess we do have the ability to perhaps start producing that, but right now our production is so crap that, like, really, we just have to, we can only really focus on one thing. So it'll just be infantry equipment for now, and we'll figure something else out later. We do have some idle dockyards over here. I'm going to set up one to just slowly continue to trickle in a few convoys over here. We'll probably have to increase that. We've got 100 now. We don't have that many troops, so the amount of convoys we'll necessarily need might not be that high, and we don't have that many factories to trade for stuff, so again, maybe we don't need that many convoys, but I'll get it to start accumulating anyway. And then with the second dockyard, we can't produce things very quickly, so I think the best thing we could do is maybe just keep going on destroyers, convoy defense, and maybe we can use it to get a little bit more vision of the seas over here, and we'll get you to automatically join the Australian squadron over here. By the way, this is going to be, as Australia, our start is going to be fairly slow. There's not going to be a lot for us to do for a while until we become independent. Let's take a look at our Navy and see our situation. We've got a single squadron over here. It features 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 5 destroyers, and we do have, you know, nice level 4 Admiral over here. He's got the air control bonus for carriers. I guess at some point maybe we'll get carriers. I don't know. That seems a little over-eager, but it's going to be that. We may as well leave you docked for now because there's really nothing that we can do with you. So I don't know if that has any impact on anything supply-wise or anything. I don't think it makes any difference, but we may as well leave you docked because who cares? In terms of Air Force, we have 24 close air support, and that is it. No fighters, no naval bombers, kind of poop. Okay, so where we're talking about national focuses over here, we were talking about the sort of ground troops over here. So, I mean, it's fine. I'm sure we'll do something over here. Do we get extra manpower from this? That's handy. 10% more recruitable population. That's actually massive for us. That's going to be huge. Okay, that's really good to note, that one. That's going to be substantial. I don't know if there's anything else quite like that. Ahead of time bonus penalty for one of these things, recon companies. Okay, that'll be nice. And here we get some marine technology, which will be important because we'll be doing some naval invasions at some point. Here we got our air branch over here. We've got our sea branch over here, which includes giving us some more naval dockyards, which are actually 3 extra naval dockyards, pretty good, except for, of course, for the fact that we don't really have the oil to support more ship production. We do have a little bit of steel, so we could still slowly trickle it, but it's not the same sort of priority over here. I don't know. We've got some industrial focuses over here. Now, it's kind of poop. Here we get our discount for industry one time. I guess that's okay. Then we need 2 techs that just give us infrastructures, or not techs, but focuses, national focuses over here, foci, that give us just infrastructure, which is not particularly sexy. After that, we do get our free civilian factories, free military factories, free military factory, free civilian factories. Here is a conversion bonus, which I don't particularly care about. We get more infrastructure over here. The research collaboration here is particularly good. It does need all the following. It needs fight, work, or perish. So we need this one to be completed. And then we need Australian arms production over here, which again is the conversion tech, to be able to get that. Not terribly exciting. We got uranium mining over here, which gives us nuclear technology boost. Okay. Establish Advisory War Council, gives us some political power, which is nice. We've got over here National Security Act, which modifies the Great Depression, which right now is like a 10% penalty to stuff. You can take a quick look over here. Here. There. Great Depression. There we go. So, yeah, we need 20% consumer goods factories, and we get a huge decrease to our factory output. Really, really crummy. So going down here, we get to shrink the Great Depression a little bit. We get a research slot over here, which is nice, and we get that a lot earlier. Invest in victory, so we get even more discounts and more production bonuses. Squash the squander bugs over here for more production. And then over here, this removes the Great Depression, gains all in, which gives us even more of a boost, and then again leads to this research slot. So that's pretty good. There's another research slot here. So 1, 2, 3. We have 2 research slots right now. We can get ourselves to 5, and actually not too difficult of a branch or a way to get there, which is nice. Do you need both of these? Do you need both of those? No, you just need the Volunteer Defense Force. So literally, this gray line doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think this is like sort of, I don't know if these gray lines are generated automatically or if they're actually part of like a graphic. It seems like, I assume this is just a set graphic because this gray line would not have been generated procedurally for us, so someone needs to go and erase that, I think. Now, over here we've got our sort of political decisions. Over on the left, support the policy of appeasement, I believe is the sort of historical, we stay close to the UK kind of side of things over here. And then we've got never another Gallipoli over here, which gives us a bunch of autonomy and leads to 2 separate major divisions. On the left is the independent democratic. So this is the loyal to UK democratic branch. I mean, it's going to have to be democratic. This is the more independent democratic branch, where we actually go and make friends with the USA and start a faction over here, Australia as a global leader, and maybe we start to create some things with the US over here, which is kind of interesting. Preemptive intervention against Japan, kind of fun. We're going to be looking over here at the Abandon the Westminster system, which then subdivides into the Communist branch and the Fascist branch. And we're going to be looking at the Fascist branch over here. Now, before we can go to support the Center Party, we need autonomy to be progressed to over 55%. We get a bunch of static autonomy from Never Another Gallipoli, and then we get some autonomy per day over here from Abandon the Westminster system. As a result, what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to take these 2 so that we can start accruing the autonomy support so that we can get it to a critical amount and then continue down here. After I've got Abandon the Westminster, I'm going to come over here and probably, beeline to Army Interventions Directorate over here. The first bonus political power over here will be nice to help hire some advisors, although a lot of the advisors we want, for example, support the Center Party unlocks the advisor that gives us fascist support. So we're going to have to wait until we sort of get there. But, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some, companies and things like that we can hire, or maybe we can change some of our laws to go there. National Security Act, which will give us a little bit more production, then we'll get the research slot, and then we'll see from there how it goes. But yeah, that is my plan. So I'm going to start with Never Another Gallipoli over here, just so that we can start to accrue the autonomy, and that's going to be good. Okay, civilian factories. So again, we have a total of 11, but 7 are in use for consumer goods, leaving us nothing but 4. Since I think it's not going to be an early war, it's not like a multiplayer game, and we don't have the ability to fabricate claims early on, it's going to be a bit of a slower burn. I think rather than jump straight to military factories, I think we are going to do the civilian factory buildup over here. That's going to be okay. I'm going to queue one up over here with our 60% infrastructure bonus, another one over here, and you can see already, like, since we're only building 4 at a time, with 4 industry at a time, 4 factories at a time, this is going to take a while to get started, but I'll just queue up these 2, and then we can reevaluate at that point. So let's talk about research over here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to, of course, with 2 research slots and the fact that we're not doing an early war, we can ignore most of this and go directly to the engineering and industry branch. We will, in fact, start with the electrical mechanical engineering. We have the 10% discount from our shared tech with the United Kingdom over here. Get the -2 research time. That's going to be okay. And then the second one, I will go into industry and I think grab the basic machine tool. Well, are we? Because that's production efficiency cap, which will help us produce small arms a little faster, but what's the big deal? I might actually just want to get the construction 1 for the boost to construction speed for a slight increase to how quickly we build the civilian factories. Then we'll come back here and then pick up concentrated industry so that our factory output goes up, which will also help build things faster. But I guess grabbing this right away might help us kickstart our industry a little faster. I think it's a little 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but there it is. And with that, I think we can unpause. We're so low on manpower and whatever, we don't even get the note that, hey, you're not recruiting or deploying anything. But yeah, like, we don't want to, because there's not much point in doing that. So we'll go ahead and do this. Before I forget, Not that it really matters, but I will go ahead and make a duplicate of our infantry template over here, and maybe I'll make a duplicate of this, because sometimes it can be annoying. You make a bunch of changes to a template, and then you realize you kind of want another template that's actually closer to what you had early on, but it costs you a ton of political power, or sorry, not political power, army experience to redesign them. So making a backup to this is super handy, I find. So I think we can go right up to speed 5. Not much point in doing anything else right now. We can take a look at what other people are doing. You're purging the Kadoha faction. Which one is this one? Can we get a description by clicking on it? No. Liaison. Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Spear. I think this is their normal branch, right? This is the classic historical Japanese branch. Marco Polo Burgeon, yes, okay. So they're doing the normal thing. But again, we do have historical AI turned off, so things might go different. We are getting a great purge over here. United Kingdom, limited rearmament, air focus. Yeah, I don't think there's anything special to note right now. We'll try to peek at these things from time to time. The thing is, a lot of the early ones don't necessarily cause a split in how these nations behave. And as of, I don't know, was it 1.5 or 1.4? I think it was 1.5. They added the extra logic so that, like, if Germany does blah, then France will do that. Okay, they're going Rhineland, like, right away. No, I guess that's normal. Yeah. We have a decision available. What is it? Promise of peace. I don't think we're running this. This exchanges war support for stability. It also hoses our daily political power. We are actually pretty good on stability, not very good on war support. And we're going to want some war support, so I'm going to turn that off. We'll probably do the improved worker condition when it comes up, though, because maxing out our stability is nice for a big boost to all kinds of different things. And this just does it, so for half a year, we get a penalty to our factory output, but during that whole time, our stability goes up, and in the end, you still get your stability, and then your factory output goes to normal. I think it's worth investing to try to boost our stability a fair bit. I don't know what's going to happen to our stability as we start to make a change over fascism. No idea. Modify government. Okay, pause. Australia seeks distance from Commonwealth. In a speech this morning, Prime Minister John Curtin announced the Australian government's dedication to growth and stability as an oceanic state. This means looking to new shores than those of Britain's Europe, as the Australian people can no longer bear the weight of foreign conflicts on their shoulders. In a direct reference to the King's speech at the open of the last Parliament, John Curtin hit the point home by stating, "Never another Gallipoli." The rapturous cheers from the crowds indicate a new era of Australian politics has begun. Where it will end, the world can only begin to speculate. And the remilitarization of the Rhineland. Okay. So we're going to go and immediately follow up with abandon the Westminster system so that we can start to accrue some more daily autonomy. And then we'll have to do something else. Modify government. Okay, so this is only a 7% discount versus a 10% discount. So it's a 3% difference in discounts. And I mean, you know, over the long run of the game, this will save us a little bit more, but that is substantially cheaper on political power over here. There are a lot more things in the industrial branch than the electronics branch. So I think I will hold off. Hopefully I'll remember to hit the button. I guess actually at 100, I'm actually going to be running the improved worker condition decision. So we'll do that. We're not going to get to 150 quite yet. Our political advisors, our silent workhorse. Yeah, this guy's grayed out. Support the policy of appeasement. So we're never going to get a silent workhorse. We will eventually get a fascist demagogue once we support the center party. The construction speed of those isn't particularly interesting. War industrialist, I guess, will be handy. We'll probably pick you up at some point. Okay, electronic mechanical engineering is done. I could go over to industry. I think I'm going to pick up mechanical computing here for another discount to research time. The sooner we get this, probably in the long run, it's probably better than rushing the industrial stuff. I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, right? The faster you get more industrial stuff, then the faster you can snowball your industry. The faster you get your research discounts, the faster all the rest. I don't know. Yes, I'm going to run this. Again, boosting stability is very, very, very handy for all kinds of different bonuses. I mean, once we get rid of the Great Depression, some of the stability modifier will go away anyway. Ruling party popularity. Our ruling party popularity is going to go down as our communist support and fascist support goes up. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run this. I think it's fine. Maybe the math doesn't work out, but I think it probably does. Do we have any more planes in reserve? No. Literally not. Just down 3.4k infantry equipment, and we've got some convoys, and that's that. Man, oh man. Yeah, this is going to be a slow start. But once stuff starts going, it's going to be very exciting. Okay, Ethiopia has fallen. That took until April. No civil war yet in Spain. I mean, obviously going to come. Bomber focus, motorized army, 4-year plan, Great Purge. Mare Nostrum. Right. That's just you're focusing on shipbuilding. Okay. I didn't know if that was a political decision that affects their ties to Germany or anything like that. And Japan, guide this. Yeah, you're still just going down over here, and that's not a mutually exclusive thing. You're going to be okay. China. Oh, you just finished something. Pause. Expand the Academia Sinica. I don't think there's anything for us to really take note of over there. Okay, so yes, we can't do anything else over here because we have to wait for autonomy to tick. And that's okay. So I'm going to swing over... Whoops. Oh, can I not do establish... Oh, we can't do this until we got 20% world tension. Ah, okay, so the really sexy branch over here is kind of locked to us. I think then we will go directly into the industrial branch. We'll grab the discount, and then we'll probably have to grab some of the infrastructure things just to kill time. I mean, infrastructure is good because it does increase the speed of building, as well as, you know, supply movement and things, but it's not necessarily our priority right now. That manpower, though. It's so bad. We need to make more babies. Australians, get busy. Lots and lots and lots of babies. Although I guess the babies now won't really help us right now. We needed you to start making babies like 10 years ago. Because then by the time the war starts, our main fighting is going to be probably around like 1940. I guess they'd only be 14 if that was 10 years ago. Oh, man. All right, 15 years ago. We can grab that industrial concern. I think I'm still going to wait. I'm going to grab the... I'm going to wait for 150. We do have another decision. We could do the ban communism. We're not going to ban fascism because we're going to go in that direction. So this, again, this is an example of something that hurts our stability while we run this. I think we can probably wait for a little bit before we do that. I would like to get some political advisors. We might even want to just change laws first. I'm not sure. I mean, we don't need to change conscription right away. I don't know if we can change our industrial laws. I guess that'll be allowed. Yeah, and that would be very handy. Okay, construction 1 is done. So we'll go ahead and get the basic machine tools. We got the 50% discount as well, which is nice. We do have a political advisor available. It would be this guy, because this guy's grayed out. Trade deal opinion. That just leaves and makes more trade goods available to us, right? So, yeah, not something I'm terribly interested in seeking out right now, because we don't have the civilian factories to swap out in any case. Okay. I mean, we can do another scan of our neighbors, but Great Purge does take a while. There we go. Leadership purges done. Industrial assistance. I'm assuming we're not there yet. So, yeah, standard gauge railway. Sounds fine. We're almost at 150. Yeah, the construction. So slow. Oh, are we down to 4 now? Because our consumer goods requirements went up? Oh my, or down to 3 from 4. Oh my god, that's terrible. Okay, we can modify the government. So, yeah, I don't care about the conversion speed. Military construction speed doesn't really matter right now either, but I am assuming our war support isn't dropping for any reason. If anything, world tension is going to continue to go up. I think we can go straight to partial mobilization. Just to save the consumer goods. I mean, there's something to be said about getting the research discount as early as possible, but I think the right answer is probably this. We're not going to be able to switch to war economy for a while. I think it's worth doing this the second we can do it. Now, depending on rounding, this may or may not make the biggest difference. It made a pretty big difference. It's saving us 2 factories right now. Yeah, that's pretty substantial. What's with the music? Huh. From Glen to Glen. I'm hoping none of this is copyrighted or anything weird like that. Weighted shuffle. I don't know. All right. Whichever. Okay, I guess we'll take another look around the world because there's nothing for us to do. France. Metropolitan France. What is that? Oh, it just gives you a bunch of infrastructure and things. Good. German Reich. Befriend Japan. Okay. So we're really going to have to respond based on what everyone else is doing. Bureau of Ships. Basic Machine Tools is done. Ooh. How come we're getting the... Do we have another 50% research bonus thing going on? I thought we only had the ×1. Maybe we had ×2. Now, at some point, we do want to get Excavation 3, because that'll let us unlock the aluminum in Tasmania, which is nice. We're hoping to probably avoid synthetic oil, just on the basis that hopefully we'll get it all from Indonesia. We're going to see how that goes. I think I'm going to grab, concentrate industry. We got the extra 10% discount, which is nice. Yeah. I don't know. There's actually pros and cons. Dispersed is not just about the anti-bomber thing. There's other pros to it based on building speed and, whatever, but concentrate is going to be fine, especially with the extra 10% discount. So we'll go ahead with that. I'm pleased with it. We're up to 93% stability, and you can see, yeah, we're getting a little bit more factory output and everything there. It also affects our consumer goods factory requirement, which is nice to be able to tweak that. And then war support, yeah, none of this really matters. We do have a bunch of command power. Command power isn't how we do this, though, right? It's political power for this? Yeah, and we do have it. Now, if I promote you, we'll lose a skill rank. Temporarily. Recently promoted. Yeah, that's fine. So we're just going to promote one of these generals to Field Marshal. And then we'll assign you there. And you got some promotions available. Now, org loss when moving, max entrenchment, reinforce rate, charismatic. What's the thing that lets you stick another 10% in there? I don't remember if it's here or it might be in the general level. I don't know what promotion I want to give you right now, so we'll just leave it off for now. Do you have a promotion pending? No. You got the Hillfighter over here. I don't know if that's still a thing. Anyway, okay. We'll leave you for now. That's going to be okay. Standard gauge railway. Okay, let's take a quick look over here. Nope, we still can't hit those buttons. So Western Australian railways. So again, kind of crummy to just have the infrastructure, but then we do start to unlock a lot of the I get free factories, which is really going to be important for us, and I can't complain about that. If we take a look at here. We're close! Actually, because we need, what, 55%? So we're at 54.1%. So we'll be able to grab the Central Party or whatever right after that. In fact, I probably just could have sat and waited, because we're getting 1 per day. Maybe more than that. It doesn't actually tell us the rate here. But we're getting 1 per day from one of the decisions we made, if nothing else. Yeah, right here. So we would have been able to hit the button if we just waited, but that's okay. It's going to delay us a few days, but probably not a problem. We need more political power anyway to be able to actually recruit the fascist dude, which is what we're going to be looking for. Can we find out about change? Yeah, so the Central Party is not really changing anyway. Okay, mechanical computing, so we're not going to hit any more buttons over here. We are not that far from 37, but I don't know if I want to ahead of time this. Yeah, it's really not much. How do we feel about just grabbing Excavation 1? We would get extra resources. I mean, we'd probably want to grab this at some point, especially when we grab more territory, then the excavation will actually pay off. I just don't know if that's important right this second. We might want to grab the radio. Well, we're going to grab this before we leave the Allies, just so that we can take advantage of the bonus. I don't know if now's the time we need it, though. We could start on a doctrine as well, because obviously we're always going to want them. So Grand Battle Plan is selected. That's actually probably going to be okay for us. First of all, I mean, we have 1 rank already, which is nice. And we do have the discount here from sharing with the UK and Canada over here. So lots of planning. Because, I mean, obviously we don't have, mass assault's not good. We don't have a ton of manpower. We're not really going to be able to build tanks. We're not even really going to be able to be that heavy on artillery. So I think that's okay. I guess I'm going to go ahead and take this. Am I? No, I'm going to eat a slight ahead of time penalty. It's not much. just to get the construction flowing a bit more. It'll still be there. Heck, maybe someone else in the Commonwealth will have picked it up and we'll get a 30% discount on things by that point. Decision to ban communists, maybe, but not yet. Concentrated industry is done over here. And yeah, I'll just go and grab the next level. And we'll get pretty heavily installed or invested in the industrial side of things. And I'm going to be okay with that. Right, so I want to wait until we get the next idea to recruit the fascist guy right away. So I think we're going to be sitting on a political power for a bit. Which I guess is okay. On the other hand... no, I think I am going to grab this. We'll be okay. There'll be a slight delay to get our fascist guy, but I think that's fine. Click, 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 click. There he goes. Good. Slight discount there is going to be nice. And there's our railway. So now we can support the Central Party. So this will start giving us more... It'll give us daily fascism support, which we didn't have before, and unlock the other guy for even more fascism support, which we will get once we get to 150 power once more. Okay, and I guess with that, we're going to go and put a cut in here. Half an hour, first video, not too shabby. We went through all of 36 over here. Obviously, time will go a little slower once the war actually starts. But there's going to be, you know, a lot more prep work. We're just trying to establish ourselves. Hopefully, we're doing things in a relatively ideal way to free ourselves from the iron fist of the United Kingdom over here, so we can become a more independent Australia, move towards fascism. And I have no idea what our military expansion is going to look like. Whether it's going to be some sort of intervention in China or some sort of attack against the Dutch East Indies. I don't know what the world tension will look like. I don't know what the guarantees will look like by the time we get to that point. Excited to find out, though. Thanks for watching. See you next time.